Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we present you 50 beautiful retro historical photos. We hope you will appreciate our work. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. Stunning retro photo shoot of a woman, 1970s. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950, and a print shop making fruit crate labels. Green Lake, Wisconsin, circa 1899. Old mill at railway station. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1952. Pope Motor Company Service Garage. March 1944. Children playing on the roof of the lighthouse, an institution for the blind, at 111 East 59th Street, New York. Knoxville, Tennessee, ca. 1941. San Francisco, 1935. Golden Gate Bridge under construction. Pontiac San Presidio ramp. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 1904. Boardwalk and Hotel Chalfont. May 1942. Southington, Connecticut. An American town and its way of life. The Memorial Day Parade. The town hall is in the left foreground. October 1942. Girl worker at lunch also absorbing California sunshine. Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach. San Francisco, 1937. Policemen and Pontiac at Golden Gate Park. December 1957. Washington, D.C. Man tuning console radio while woman in next room types. Washington, D.C., circa 1919. Senator Warren G. Harding, Republican of Ohio. May 1918. American National Red Cross. Aviation camp of the American Army at Isudan. The Canteen Kitchen. December 1957. Washington, D.C. Man with broadcast listings, woman tunes radio. Circa 1899. Ekin, Mrs. L.M. October 1942. Woman at work on bomber motor, Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach, California. Circa 1899. Lorian Morrow Ekin. New York circa 1906. Union League Club, Brooklyn. (1905) City Hall, Troy, New York. This 1875 building, designed by Marcus Cummings. Newport, Rhode Island, 1902. Informal portrait of a young Negro woman working amid clotheslines heavy with sheets and stockings. Circa 1900. Joe Black Fox, a Sioux Indian from Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. San Francisco circa 1927. Page Cabriolet Roadster. Kelly, W.E. between March 1905 and August 1906. June 1942. Tank driver, Fort Knox, Kentucky. Retro photo shoot, 1980s. Circa 1894. Reuter, Fritz. The son, and presumably dog and cat, of Washington, D.C., hotelier Fritz Reuter. Circa 1910. Hall of Records, Sigget's Courthouse, New York, New York. April 1943. Women workers employed as wipers in the roundhouse having lunch in their restroom, Western Railroad, Clinton, Iowa. March 1966. Actor Adam West on the set of the movie Batman and making public appearances. Washington, D.C., circa 1926. Planograph Building, L Street, NE. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Garage elevator wreck. Kelly, J.T. Children. Between February 1894 and February 1901. Wellington, New Zealand, circa 1957. Bond Street shows a narrow city lane. June 1942. Greenbelt, Maryland. Grandma Taylor blows out the candles on her 83rd birthday cake while her daughter, Mrs. McCarl, and grandson look on. San Francisco, 1925. Overland 6 sedan. August 1918. In the kitchen preparing food for wounded American soldiers in U.S. Army Base Hospital No. 41 at St. Denis, France. April 1943. The PBRRR. Pabst Beer sign over the Illinois Central Freight Yard at South Water Street, Chicago. Charleston, South Carolina, 1937. Old House, Henrietta and Elizabeth Streets. December 1942. Working on a locomotive at the 40th Street Shops, Chicago Northwestern RR. August 1940. Extremely tall and excellent corn is also grown on the King and Anderson Cotton Plantation near Clarksdale, Mississippi Delta, Mississippi. August 1940. Street scenes, Port Gibson, Mississippi. October 1939. He brought his family to the West in a homemade trailer from Texas. Boy sick. Father has work now in potato field. Merrill, Klamath County, Oregon. February 1939. Brawley, Imperial County, California. In farm family of mother, father, and 11 children, originally from near Mangrum, Oklahoma. San Francisco circa 1922. Gardner touring car. October 1942. Riveter at work at the Douglas Aircraft Plant in Long Beach, California. Tennessee circa 1902. Chattanooga and Missionary Ridge from Cameron Hill. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Stunning actress Jane Mansfield, 1957. November 1938. Omaha, Nebraska. Cars parked diagonally along a row of parking meters. October 30th, 1939. German-American Bun Parade on East 86th Street. November 1938. Capitol Avenue storefronts, Omaha, Nebraska. Gorgeous Gia Marie Karangi in a beautiful bikini. Photo 1979. (1906). Mobile, Alabama Old Market House at Royal and Church. San Francisco, 1927. Stutz Vertical 8 with safety chassis. Coal miner during May 1939 strike. Kempton, West Virginia. Summer 1938. General Store Interior. Florence County, South Carolina. February 1939. Sebastian, Texas. Migrant camp of workers who hope to get employment in the winter vegetable harvest. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Conservation of fuel oil rock wool attic insulation. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Food rationing stamps. Demonstration of point rationing plan in schools. Washington, D.C., circa 1928. Fussell Young Ice Cream Company trucks. October 1938. playground in Green Hills, Ohio. (1938) Andrews Log House, Rutherford County, North Carolina. Norwell, tenant. Fairbury, Nebraska, 1953. Walter Gorham, my uncle, ran this restaurant in the Marietta Hotel. Boston circa 1906. Board of Trade, Broad Street. Circa 1904. Summer Street in Boston, Massachusetts. Circa 1905. Cathedral of the Holy Cross, Boston, Massachusetts. March 1937. 6:45 a.m. One of 9 children, son of hired man Tip Estes, washing his face after doing his early morning chores. Near Fowler, Indiana. March 1937. Children of migratory carrot pullers, Mexicans. Imperial Valley, California. Boston circa 1900. Hotel Vendôme, Dartmouth Street and Commonwealth Avenue. November 1942. Utah Copper Bingham Mine. Brakeman of an ore train at the open pit mining operations of Utah Copper Company at Bingham Canyon, Utah. August 1937. Automobile convoys at Amity Hall, Pennsylvania. Truckers' facilities are, according to the drivers, model accommodations and of a kind not found elsewhere. New York, 1903. Cadet Armory, 9th Regiment Coast Artillery, West 14th Street. October 1938. North Platte, Nebraska. Manager of the Alamo Bar, and Mildred Irwin, entertainer. Charming Gaynor Goodman, New Year's Eve photo shoot 1988. November 1938. Houses along the railroad tracks, Omaha, Nebraska. June 1936. Griffin Children of Alabama Land Use Demonstration Project near Greensboro. November 1938. Lower Douglas Street, Omaha, is one of the hobo centers of the West. San Francisco, 1919. Saxon touring car at Boatyard. November 1938. Saloon in Stockyards District, South Omaha, Nebraska. (1905) Yates Hotel, Syracuse, New York. Opened in 1892 and demolished in 1971. The most elegant hotel outside Manhattan. Harbor Springs, Michigan, circa 1906. A flowing well in Wetquitansing. Puerto Rico circa 1903. La Marina San Juan, PR. New York circa 1903. Manhattan from under the Brooklyn Bridge. November 1938. Omaha, Nebraska, newsstand. Noon, June 10, 1909. Parker Mill in Warren, Rhode Island. I saw these and nearly a dozen youngsters who looked to be under 14 at work there that AM when I went through the mill as a visitor. Circa 1906. A Fifth Avenue stage, New York. Detroit circa 1903. Swimming pool at Belle Isle Park. Circa 1902. Main Street, Dayton, O. Unidentified woman. Between 1873 and ca. 1916. May 1909. Manchester, New Hampshire. Boy with bare arms, Fred Normandin, 15 Bridge Street, has been working in Amos Cake Manufacturing Company Mill No. 1 for several months. Detroit, circa 1901. Woodward Avenue at the campus marshes showing Bagley Fountain. Circa 1900. Entrance, Government Reservation, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Washington, D.C., circa 1926. Hill Building, 17th and I Streets, NW. St. Augustine, Florida, circa 1903. Hotel Alcazar Annex, Cordova Hotel. Charleston, South Carolina, circa 1900. Meeting Street and St. Michael's Church. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Stunning Natalie Banis, posing for a photo, 1989. Shoot, 1977. Pretty Jane Mansfield, 1960s vintage photo shoot. Pretty Jane Mansfield, 1960s vintage photo shoot. Circa 1907. The Shoreham, Cape May, New Jersey. August 1943. Southfields, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Nathan Hale, where children are aided by the Methodist Camp Service. Singing around the campfire. March 1920. Republic motor truck at Letterman Hospital, San Francisco, with cargo of oranges. Washington, D.C., 1922. And no caption, Women on Street. One in a series showing spring fashions at Easter. This trio is going places with a camera and a banjo. September 1941. Dude at rodeo in Ashland, Montana. September 6, 1924. Washington, D.C. 80 pounds, 60-yard dash, Central High School. (1904) Boys High School, Philadelphia. Our titillating title comes from the star burlesquer's billboard far right. San Francisco circa 1924. New Rio 6, Pacific Heights. June 1937. Sharecropper boy near Chesney, South Carolina. San Francisco, 1925. California State Automobile Association Gus Petzl baby car at start of cross-country run. August 1942. Women in industry. Aircraft motor workers. $1 million baby, not in terms of money but in her value to Uncle Sam, 21-year-old Eunice Hancock. Circa 1910. Surf bathers at beach, possibly Atlantic City. Washington, D.C., 1931. Woman with donkey and taxicab. For anyone who's ever been instructed to get your A _ over here right now, here's one possible solution. San Francisco circa 1930. Hudson 8 sedan. Side mount spare, shiny stockings optional at extra cost. Washington, D.C., 1938. Marie Pasapi C. Koi Hansaker is all it says here. Are there enough clues to tell us what's going on? San Francisco, 1919. Coal Auto. Climb in, if you can figure out how. New York circa 1910. Broad Street and the Curb Brokers. (1906). Post Office, Worcester, Massachusetts. The highlight here, for retro photos, at least, is the Sandwich Depot next door, and its sign beckoning the passing ghost pedestrians. February 1969. Weight Watchers International founder Jean Nadech at speaking engagement in Louisville, Kentucky. Walkerville, Ontario, circa 1905. General Offices, Hiram Walker Sons. San Francisco, 1929. Pierce Arrow convertible coupe in Golden Gate Park. Riverside, now Windsor, Ontario. At Edith Cavell School 1953. This photo shows a group of kids at the front of the school, with my mother standing behind the card table. I am standing beside the table with my tongue sticking out. Circa 1927. Sweetbriar College, May Day exercises. In 2015, it's May Day in more ways than one at the Women's College near Lynchburg, set to close due to a financial crisis. August 1942. Women in industry. Tool production. A job which was formerly done by hand, and by men, is done in this large Midwest drill and tool plant by women at machines. Republic Drill and Tool Company, Chicago. REO Speedwagon Grocery Truck, San Francisco, 1921. Charmin Eve Eden, photo 1964. (1907), North Church and Congress Streets, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. October 17, 1935. San Francisco. Federal Truck City Ice Delivery Company. Neighbors of the Western Asbestos Magnesia Company. San Francisco, 1937. Donnelly Oldsmobile on Golden Gate Bridge with police officer, whose cruiser we can see reflected in the bumper. Golden Gate International Exposition, Treasure Island, San Francisco, 1940. Between the towers were two gold bas-reliefs, Dance of Life and Path of Darkness. Circa 1897. The sea wall at St. Augustine. Diversions include a museum and menagerie, and hot cold sea sulfur water baths. Banff, Alberta, Canada, sometime in the early 60s. Scanned from a box of Kodachrome slides I found at a flea market. July 1942. East Montpelier, Vermont. Richard, age 5, son of the farmer Charles Ormsby, has his own war project. He has agreed to lick all the savings stamps for the family. 1894. Sport fishing, Palm Beach, Florida. Day's catch. Now where's that frying pan? San Francisco, 1929. Nash convertible coupe at Golden Gate Park. Heading into the Depression in style. April 1939. Salvation Army, San Francisco, California. Unemployed young men pause a moment to loiter and watch, and then pass on. January 1941. Guests of Sarasota, Florida, trailer park enjoying the sun and sea breeze at the beach. My grandfather documented the last day in session for my mother's one-room school in Honey Grove, Pennsylvania, in 1958. New York circa 1900. Mess Boys, Brooklyn Navy Yard Hospital. November 1942. Chicago, Illinois. Washing a locomotive at the coaling station at an Illinois Central rail yard. San Francisco, 1928. Franklin Sport touring at Golden Gate Park. My grandfather took over the old family grocery in Honey Grove, PA, in 1950 and opened his funeral home adjacent. August 25, 1949. New York International Airport, Idlewild. Bridge with plane. A Boeing 377 Stratocruiser, the Pan Am Clipper 7Cs. San Francisco, 1920. Atterbury truck at City Hall. Looking somewhat skeletal if you ask us. July 19, 1939. New York World's Fair, Railroad Exhibit Locomotives. Locomotive of Tomorrow, General View. Washington, D.C., 1933. Front of wrecked automobile. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Gia Marie Karangi in a beautiful pink bikini, 1962.